My sister and I booked this trip to Japan, and in the haste of booking, we unknowingly booked a resort where, to participate in most activities, you generally need to be naked. In the end, it was fine for one of us. My sister and I have always wanted to go to Japan together, and we had a perfect opportunity to do that somewhere in 2018 or 2019. And so we took almost 2 weeks off and planned this amazing itinerary. We went to Tokyo, we went to the Spring Festival in Takayama, we did a bunch of weeaboo stuff, we went to Himeji Castle. I don't know if I want to show you the picture of me at Himeji Castle. Okay, we're gonna take a detour. Himeji Castle is this castle in a city that's also called Himeji, and in spring, during cherry blossom season, it's exceptionally beautiful. Everything's pink and everybody's taking pictures. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking one thing. I feel cute and I'm gonna get a new profile picture here. I stand in front of the castle and I ask my sister to take a picture of me. Later that day, we're on a bullet train leaving Himeji. And I'm like, can I see that picture of me in front of the castle? So she airdrops it to me. And I'm like, how come I have massive in this picture? And that picture did not make it to Facebook. It needs to be printed out and buried on a full moon. Toward the end of the trip, we have this overnight stay at a Buddhist temple on top of Mount Koya. And we're super excited about it because we're gonna do a morning prayer. We're gonna try vegetarian Buddhist food. We were gonna go to the hot springs. We're gonna explore the gardens, all while, in our minds, fully clothed. Getting there was actually kind of treacherous. We had to take a bunch of trains, this really rickety funicular, and then also this mountainside bus. And we were just having both individual and group fears about dying at any point on this journey. When we get to the temple, it all feels worth it because the place is absolutely stunning. The staff is really nice and they take Amex. Winds all around. Someone takes us to our room and we start unpacking our luggage, thinking that that's all we'd be unpacking that evening, alas. So anyway, we're exploring this complex and I see this door that's marked men's bath. And I go, oh, this must be the famous hot springs. So I open the door and I step in and before that moment, I could count on one hand the number of geriatric wieners that I've seen in my life. And after that moment, I had to bring in my second hand. So I step out of there and my sister's like, how was it? And I go, oh, I think I accidentally went to the nude section because a bunch of old men were airing out their. And so we keep walking and find another door that's marked men's bath. And I open the door. So moments before that, I could count on two hands the number of geriatric wieners I'd seen in my life. And after that, I needed to bring in both feet. And so we're reading the materials and we find out that to access most of the grounds, you need to be pretty much naked. This is a big problem for me and my sister because we're both never nudes. Like, I'm not naked. I'm not naked ever. What's under this Steve from Blue's Clues outfit that I'm wearing is none of my business. I don't want to see myself naked. I don't want people to see me naked. I don't think I've ever been naked. I can already hear some of you typing like, but what about when you were born? You were naked very publicly then. And like, I don't know that I was. I don't think I would have come out without like at least a hat on or something. I can't imagine that. Anyway, so this is something that we could have figured out with like 10 seconds of Googling, but we were being excited, ignorant weeboos and totally goofed on this one. There's nowhere else to go. We're literally on top of a mountain. We certainly don't want to go back down the mountain because that was terrifying and we still hadn't recovered from that journey. I make an executive decision and I'm like, look, we're gonna split up. We're gonna follow everyone's lead. We're gonna get naked and we're gonna frolic in the garden because we did not travel thousands of miles and spend thousands of dollars to not frolic naked in this garden, okay? So this is it. We're doing it. So we split up and I go to the men's section and I'm in the undressing room and there's nobody there. So I get completely naked and I'm like, oh, nothing bad is happening yet. So before you go into the baths in Japan, you have to wash your body. There's this little shower area with some hoses and buckets and basins and a stool. So I wash off and then I go outside into the garden to frolic. And again, there's nobody there. And like, I'm actually doing okay. I'm actually feeling kind of good. The sun is beaming down on me. There's fresh mountain air rustling through everything, including my butt cheeks. It's like the first time my butt has seen the outside world, and it's like, thank you, I love this. Anyway, I go into one of these tubs and just soak, and I am feeling a peace that I had never felt in my life and probably will never feel again. After about an hour, I'm like, I should probably regroup with my sister. So I go back to my room and I flick on the light and I'm scanning and I don't see her. And then I look down and she's on the ground, back against the wall, just staring into space, completely red in the face. And I'm like, how was your time? And she goes, oh, it was good. It was good. I'm like, are you sure it was good? Like, you don't look like you had fun. And she goes, yeah, no, it was good. And I'm like, okay, walk me through your experience. She tells me that she walks in and she's basically the first person there. And she's like, you know the area where you wash yourself before you go in the baths? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, I didn't really know what to do in there. So I just kind of sat on a stool. And then I noticed this basin of water on the ground. And by that point, these two other tourists come in and also sit on stools. And I'm looking at this basin and I pick it up and I dump it over my head. And the two other women are looking at me and they copy what I do. They grab the basin and they dump it over their head. And then as they're dumping these basins on their head, a local woman comes in and sits on one of the stools. My sister and these two women kind of look over to see if they've done the procedure correctly. And the woman grabs the basin with the water and puts her feet in and starts washing her feet in the basin. So while I'm airing out my and having fun in the garden, my sister's dumping foot water on her head and encouraging others to do the same. I want to say that we learned that it's important to do your research, but I'm kind of glad that we didn't know what we were getting into, because I don't think that we would have gone, and then we would have missed out on all the other stuff. We learned a lot about Buddhist cuisine, we explored the gardens, we got to go to a morning prayer, and of course, we made our funny little memory. If this story reminds you of your own travel mishaps, please let me know about them in the comments. I would love to read them, and I'm sure everybody else would too. At the time that I'm recording this, there are 300 subscribers on this channel, which is wild to me, because before you came along, I was just talking to myself in my room. So I'm really, really happy and appreciative that you're here. So thank you so much. And until next time, stay clothed and stay well.